My name is Ray van der Putten, Ray van der Putten. I'm from Holland. I come from the east of the country, nearby the German border. I've been living in Taiwan for more or less 8 years, a little bit over 8 years. Before that I was 3 years in Beijing. Well, I had a very nice life and career in Holland, but it felt a bit predictable. I was mid-40s, I still wanted to do something new and exciting, and there was a lot going on in China. But after 3 years, I was getting unhappy there. I had been coming to Taiwan already years before that for holidays, and I knew people here, so I thought like, okay, I'm not going back to Holland. I'm just going to the better China. I was looking for something else to do, what was more near to my heart, my passion, which is music. And I have a long history in audio. I think I started building loudspeakers when I was 16, so that is over 40 years ago. My oldest brother, he's 9 years older, is a very gifted designer. 5 or 6 years ago, I was living here doing other things, and we found each other again. He had some questions for me on a certain audio topic. We got more into talking and discussing things, and then suddenly I was there again, and I started making speakers, and we were designing together. We got to our first model. We've been to the original driver manufacturer with this model, and they were totally in awe. They are loudspeaker driver manufacturer, but they design complete loudspeaker designs. But something what we did, they didn't go that far, and they were very surprised. So now I'm doing it more on my own. It's become a very serious business, and we do things differently. The atmosphere of exclusivity is still something that the traditional resellers just want to keep. That's not my thing. Many of my designs, some of them might just cost about 20% of really good products that you can buy here in those shops, but same performance for 1/5 of the price. But then you're still talking about high-end audio. A lot of products are actually intentionally exotic or complicated, which gives the idea that it's something very good. But it's still, the rule goes that the more simple you make it, the more honest, and using good components, good materials, and some smart design, that does it. It's not about sound and sound quality. It's about musicality. The music needs to really jump to you and catch you. And that defines good equipment and certainly good speakers. We have been experimenting a lot with just full range drivers, and so here's our first design. That's an 8-inch full range driver. We would say it's a high-end, definitely. Nowadays, high-end is always associated with very high prices and handmade stuff and so on, but it doesn't need to be. The performance of this is fantastic. It's a very fast driver, you would actually say a very nervous driver, so hard to control. But if you understand building loudspeaker cabinets well, then you can actually do the whole electrodynamic damping of your main driver in the cabinet. The amplifier loves this because it's become very easy to drive, and you don't get feedback from the speaker to the amplifier, so everything just free and open and direct. You need a range, so we are making that now. Making a two-way system in a different settings. A large floor standard with a big woofer will be very powerful, and a very slim floor standard, like 1 meter high, using that driver, but also add a woofer to get more bass. It's the actual reproducing of music And so there's your speakers. And in the old days it was also your turntable should be good, and a good cartridge and so on. But nowadays it's mainly speakers, and I love making those. I do actually a lot of not only the testing and developing, but I actually love also doing the assembly. Later on I hope to grow and we'll have a small team for that, but I can teach them a lot then. A lot of details are important, and you don't see that back in serial manufactured products. Yeah, you gotta dream a little bit big, because you need to set aims, and so looking ahead, I actually want to be a bit of a disruptive factor with loudspeakers on the Taiwan market. Physical shop is nice, but if you get in, it's a little bit often like, oh, you step into an art gallery and people also feel uneasy, uncomfortable. I'm not immediately thinking of having a shop, but in the future it should definitely happen, and that should be much more like a dwelling that people feel comfortable in, and just relax, and nothing has to be. We're just interested in you and your musical preferences, and we'll see where it ends up, what we can do for you. The whole activity is not to get a great income from and crazy good profits like you see here a lot. Totally not. It's actually I'm totally on the consumer side. I want to offer them a great product that they're happy with for years, for a price that can amaze a lot of people.